What is up, YouTube? It's Crawford Prodigy back in video, and today we're basically going to be going over everything NBA 2K Mobile ended up changing from season 2 to this season, which is currently season 3, and we're going to see whether or not NBA 2K Mobile actually got better. Just like a quick answer to that question, they did get better. The only thing I feel like that ended up getting worse from last season to this season is the 500 card limit. Because it was not here last season, but they somehow, for some reason, feel like the need to add this season. But yeah, the 500 card limit high key sucks. If you're at 500 cards or if you're above 500 cards, you are no longer basically able to play the game whatsoever. So if we go ahead and sim a season real quick, we're probably gonna get a player from the draft board. As you can see, we get 3 of them right there. If you go ahead sim another season, because we are now over the 500 card limit, they give you this warning screen. You currently have too many cards to earn more cards. Please reduce cards to less than 500 cards. So that's basically the thing that they added last season. That's probably like the only thing I feel like they did worse from last season compared to this season. But outside of that, start go over a team that I feel like they did better, because I feel like generally everything they added this season was a bit better in my opinion. But we go start going over the stuff. Start off, we will start with the collection thing. They added more filters. I think pretty sure they added this craftable filter right here. I'm pretty sure they added the and the teams filter right here. They definitely did not have the teams filter before. But as y'all can see, if you go over to the team, obviously this team filter actually it started worked right when it came out too. So it was also pretty dope. So if you guys once you can filter out a team, for some reason if you guys felt the need to filter out a team, if you're like trying to be like team loyalty or anything like that, or if you're trying to feel one thing, the only reason I use this for is if I'm trying to build like an epic gear team for head to head, try to train up my epic gear or something like that. So for example, we have this team right here. We have a Thunder shoe, we have a Raptor shoe, a Clipper shoe, so on and so on, a Knicks shoe, and a Clipper shoe right all the way here at the end, right? It's Clipper shoe, yeah. So yeah, that's basically the only thing I really feel like that's useful for. I would still say it's a pretty good thing to have in the game, but personally, what I use it for is to make sure I have a card at every single position. Outside of that, I didn't really use it that much this season, but I feel like as far as like if they add like more events and stuff and more opportunities to get more cards, this thing could become a lot more useful as far as like the team loyalty bonus and stuff like that. But outside of that, I don't really see this being useful at the moment. But yeah, I feel like this thing in general has been pretty useful throughout the season. I feel like it's pretty dope that they added, even if it's at the moment not that useful. But yeah, moving on to the next thing on this list. Galaxy Opal cards last season, if you guys did not know, we did not have Galaxy Opal cards. The highest card, the highest tier the cards went up to was Pink Diamond. Also, another thing Galaxy Opal cards did that they made the cycle for the rarities like 2 months. Last season I don't know how long it was, but it was like I feel like it took like a super long time so for a rarity to start and then for a rarity to end. So basically every single rarity this season took about 2 months from when it released to us getting a new rarity. So for example, from the what's the name? From the Pink Diamonds, since from six Pink Diamonds came out, we had about 2 months, and then we end up getting the Galaxy Opal card. So that's basically what I mean by 2 month cycle. And then of course we had Pink Diamond events for those 2 months. So basically we have, I guess that would be 8 events. Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. So 8 events, right? No, I might be wrong to be honest. Yeah, 8 events because yeah, 8 events. So yeah, that's basically how that worked. I feel like it made the cycle of this game a lot easier. I feel like after a while, cards got dry as far as like Pink Diamond cards. Like at some point during Pink Diamond, like last season, you're just like collecting Pink Diamond cards for the end of the season, especially since last season. I would say more for diamonds, I guess. You're just collecting diamonds, waiting for Pink Diamonds to come out. As far as this season, I feel like the cycle between tiers was pretty good. As far as like you have like a certain amount of tiers, and then you want to have those tiers come out in a certain amount of time. You'll be able to stack up your cards for that tier, and then you're gonna move on to the next tier, and then so on and so on until you get the Galaxy Opal, until you eventually reset the whole season. So I feel like this cycle was a lot better as far as that goes. And then of course Galaxy Opal cards, in my opinion, also they look really good as far as the card art and stuff like that. But yeah, moving on, I guess we will continue on the cards. They changed how the foundation cards look. So I'm going to show you guys on the screen 2 foundation cards. I actually have no idea what foundation cards I have screenshots of, but I'm going to show you guys on the screen 2 foundation cards of the same type of player, the same type of rarity. As y'all can see, this season, they added like, I feel like this season, I feel like last season, moving into this season, I did not like this card art whatsoever. I feel like this season, I feel like I kind of adapted to it. I kind of like it more. compared to last season. But as you guys can see, last season for the cards, I'm pretty sure we have a pink diamond. Do we have a pink diamond Larry Bird? We don't have a pink diamond Larry Bird. But as far as last season, they just had like these bars behind the players, and then for this season, as you guys can see the difference, you have like whatever the player is doing, and then the whole player in there, and then the background is the pink diamond thing right there. I don't really feel like one of them is easier or hard to make. I would say that yeah, I would just say this one, in my opinion, over time has grown on me, and this one is better. I guess it doesn't really matter now, so you probably will be getting a new one next season. But yeah, they changed the foundation card art. It's probably one of the first things they showed off when they started announcing this season as far as season 3 goes. But moving on to the next thing that we have on this list is sets. If we go over to sets, a lot of sets this season have been free to play. By free to play, I mean you can basically complete the set without actually having to open up any packs, and that is through getting the cards from events, getting the cards from the getting the cards from crafting. So basically, from the events, you are able to get a total. I guess you get, let's say you get 3, get 4 from each of the 2 events, which would be a total of 8. So you get a total of 14 collectibles from the events. So you get 3 from each of the mini dominations, and you get 4 from the event. So that's basically 3, and you get 1 from the leaderboard thing. From the if we go over the leaderboards real quick, because we have King of the Court out right now. You get 1 from generally pitching in the top 50,000. So if you're actually like playing the event, you're pretty easily going to get in the top 50,000. Not that many people will play the game, so you're going to be able to get in the top 50,000. The top 50,000 in general, I think for the last event, which I think it was Fantasy Finals, top 50,000 like 5K and up. So it was not that hard to reach. All you have to legit do, pretty sure, reach like the second reward. So as long as we're reaching at the second reward in the events, if you're like generally reaching the collectibles in the events, and you're also reaching, then you're also reaching the top 50K. So if you're able to just like do that for the events, then you're also able to probably have complete a lot of sets this season, because they were not that difficult to complete free to play. But yeah, that is one of the things that they added this season that was pretty dope. Free to play sets were really good last season. The amount of free to play sets, the sets were mainly for people who spent money on the game. Personally, I was not spending money in the game, especially because if we go ahead, that kind of takes us into our next thing. The pack odds were not shown last season, and this season the pack odds were shown. As far as the pack odds, they end up getting worse throughout the season, which I feel like that should not happen. So basically at the beginning of the season, you had an 11% chance at pulling the top reward from packs, which I think they were like you get, like as you guys can see from these packs. So you have 11% chance at pulling, at pretty sure at the beginning of the season it was like a Paul Pierce that was pack. I don't know, whoever the pack exclusive card is, and then everything else, and you are able to pull that from packs. Basically the same thing this season. You are also able to see the pack odds this season. Or no, I'm saying that the pack odds changed as far as the tiers grew. Beginning of the season 11%, now you see 1.5%. That's basically the reason why I don't actually open packs. I don't feel like it's a reason for me to waste coins on these packs. As far as they changed the odds, they moved them down super low. So hopefully next season they keep the odds the same throughout the whole season, as far as like keeping them pretty high and put them in your favor. As far as if you're like going to spend $100 on packs, and you should at the very least, I would say, be guaranteed the second highest tier of cards. Most likely, most of the times, probably even pulling at the highest tier of the card. But yeah, this season, as y'all can see, they added the pack odds. So as y'all can see, 1.5% chance if we want to get that Dwayne Wade. Same thing for the Jimmy Butler and all the other pink diamond cards. But yeah, as you guys can see, they show you the pack odds. All you have to do is press this question mark, and they will display, and you can press them again, they will disappear. So yeah, I'll say pack odds were a pretty dope addition this season, as far as knowing what cards you have the highest chances of pulling. Moving on to the next thing that we have on this list is less domination. So if we go over to collection, let's see when the last time we had domination. I think it was for the champions team. Let's just filter out pink diamonds real quick so it's easier to scroll through this. But for the no, it's for the finals team. So the last time we had domination was for the finals team. So we haven't had domination for 2 weeks. We haven't had domination for 4 weeks. So it's basically a month at this point, adding the dunkers in. We haven't had domination for 6 weeks now. So we haven't had domination for at the very least a total of 6 weeks. Last season, how they would rotate it is they would rotate, basically they would have 3 events and they would just rotate them through every single time. So we had Gauntlet, Fantasy Finals, and Domination. I'm not sure if that was the actual way they rotated in, but Gauntlet, Fantasy Finals, Domination, that was basically the rotation. They never moved out of that order. This season, we've had a lot less dominations. Let's see, what dominations have we actually had? So if we go over to filter out. Let's just filter out amethyst because that is the lowest, or that is going to be a tier that every single theme has. So as far as domination that we have, I can't even see it from building our amethyst. We've had a domination, so we know we had one for the final scene. We had one for the trash hugger scene for this Kenyon Martin. That's 2. And then we had one. Did we have one for playoffs? I don't think we had one for playoffs. Yeah, we didn't have one for playoffs. We had one for the. Did we have one for internationals? I don't think we did. We had the Dirk and oh yeah, Dirk was not in that event, and Yao Ming I think was in King of the Court. We had one for the spring theme because DeMar DeRozan was in there, and then we had one for the. I legit probably should have done this before we actually did the video, but basically the point is we haven't had nearly as many dominations as we did last season. As I said, last season they rotated the same 3 events. This season they didn't do that, so that was pretty great. As I said in the past, my issues with domination, I'm not going to reiterate them in this video. I can watch older videos and see what my problem with domination is. But yeah, less domination, in my opinion, is a good thing. Only thing about it is that they also had the 500 card limit. So if you end up skipping a domination because you did not want the Julius Erving, then you are kind of screwed with the whole 500 card limit thing, which really sucks. So yeah. But yeah, moving on to the next thing. Basically, the next thing is the boost that they added this season. So we added, from what I've seen, they added 2 new boosts. So for one, they added the conference finals, or the conference boost. So y'all can see for these finals cards, they had boosts for the Suns and they had boosts for the Bucks. So if we go over to down here, Suns had a Western Conference boost. I hope this is actually transferred into next season. So as y'all can see, they had Western Conference boost, and then basically if 200 other cards are from their same conference, they get a 15% power boost. Same thing up here. If 2 cards are from the Eastern Conference, then these Bucks cards will get a 50% power boost. Hopefully, they add those cards into next season as far as boosts, because that would be a lot easier to build boost teams. Not that crazy of a boost. Either 15% is not nearly as much. Let's go over to duos. Actually, duos is a total of 20%. So maybe they should move, maybe turn it down a little bit to 10% if they do add it. I guess they could change it depending on what they want to do. But a 50% boost for having 3 conference players in your lineup is not really that hard to build. It actually makes you more mindful of what conference your players are in. But yeah, the conference boost is new, and then the other boost they added, which is not the greatest as far as adding it later into the season. Hopefully they add it earlier on into the season, and hopefully they don't put it on theme cards. I feel like it kind of sucks on theme cards because that's not the boost you want on your theme cards. But as far as the other boosts that I'm talking about is when they added the boost with actually the team I have on my team right now, the finals theme, where they have these players with the Gear Master. Basically, that means that after every single game, if you guys can see, if you have shoes on your team that are not completely trained, you guys are going to see on the screen right now, then you will get a total, like you get a certain amount of gear points. But if you have a player with gear points or Gear Master boost, you just basically give you double gear points. So not the craziest boost as far as actually boosting power. I would hope that next season hopefully they also bring back the stylish boost that they had last season, which basically, if you had like a certain shoe, it was only one card that I had last season. It was the Kemba Walker from the All-Star theme, I'm pretty sure it was. And then basically if you had a certain shoe, I think it was like a Don C, Air Jordan, something. If you had that shoe on, then he got a power boost. So hopefully they add that shoe back into next season. I don't really know how that will work as far as that goes, because I believe they also gave us the free epic shoe for that Kemba Walker as well. But yeah, the Gear Master boost is they added in this season. I don't really feel like it was that good. I guess that's one of the things we could add it among the 500 card limit thing. But hopefully next season they put it on like foundation cards or something like that, and they maybe give like foundation cards like smaller boosts, like they give them like conference finals boosts like 10% or something like that. But yeah, hopefully they don't put it on actual event cards next season, or if they do, they add it towards the beginning of the season, because I don't feel like Gear Master is really something that you will be able to use towards the end of the season. But moving on to the next thing that we have on this list is actually gonna be the second to last thing, is that generally the top cards for every single position have been meta. So for example, as far as the top couple of point guards in this game, I would say that Chris Paul, Kyrie Irving, and Stephen Curry, Magic Johnson, and who else? Some other players like Russell Westbrook, Gary Payton are all top cards in the game as far as point guards go. So for Stephen Curry, generally all the cards have been meta for like top couple of players. So we had and basically by meta, what I mean is they have a higher tier card that's going to be free to play in the events, or they had the tier below that's also going to be free to play in the event that you were able to get free to play. So Of course, Stephen Curry, you're able to get free to play. Damian Lillard, you're able to get free to play. The Russell Westbrook at some point from the record holders team, you're able to get free to play. Same thing with Gary Payton from the Trash Talkers team. Same thing with Oscar Robertson from the Onyx cards. I'm pretty sure he had an Onyx card. Oscar, did he get an Onyx card? I'm pretty sure he had an Onyx card, right? He had an Onyx Foundation card from all the way down here. Oscar Robertson had an Onyx Foundation card. He's somewhere in here. I don't know where he is, but I'm pretty sure Oscar Robertson had an Onyx Foundation card. Same thing with the other cards as far as like Trae Young goes. A lot of the cards this season have been free to play. The only card that I looked up or that I found that did not really have a card that's meta all season was Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, all his cards this season have been either pack exclusive, which the only time I guess they were you would have been able to get them was from the what's the name? From the New Year's theme when he was actually meta, or by managing the pool from like the foundation cards or something like that. Because obviously Tim Duncan had like a what's the name, Pink Diamond foundation card. Hopefully, Tim Duncan at some point in the season from like the event or something like that, because he has not really gotten a free to play one for everyone to be able to try out at the same time. But yeah, Tim Duncan is one of those cards. Is why I can't really tell if he's like a top what's the name, top power forward in the game, because he's not. He didn't really have any event cards. As far as Giannis, he did actually have one from the Amethyst tier. You know, after the like that didn't really last that long. But Giannis actually had one from the Amethyst tier. But yeah, moving on to the last thing on stuff. Actually, that is the last thing. So yeah, that's basically everything that they did end up changing from this season to last season. Let me know down in the comment section some other changes that you guys would like to see in the game. As far as this season goes, they also had like a whole bunch of new legends. Just to go over a few of them, they added quite a bit. I wrote quite a few down. I'm not gonna have to go over all of them. As far as the notable names, they added Amari Stoudemire, they added Nate Robinson, they added Nate Archibald, Richard Jefferson, Sean Marion, Robert Ory, Brian Scalabrine. They moved Allen Iverson to shooting guard, which is pretty interesting. As far as they say, they're gonna move Luka to point guard, so I guess it's really not that hard to do. But yeah, they added Paul Pierce. He was one of the ones toward the beginning. Kenyon Martin, Nick Van Exel, Mike Bibby. The only reason I'm mentioning him because he has not had a free play card this season. Hopefully he gets one at some point this season. But yeah, that's basically generally all the cards that they did in the adding this season. They added quite a few more. I just did not name all of them. But yeah, it's basically going to be the end of the video. Later on this week, we are also probably going to do a video as far as the 2K Mobile wish list. But yeah, it's basically going to be the end of the video. If you guys didn't feel, drop a like. Let me know down in the comments if I end up missing anything that they did end up adding from this season that they did not have last season. But yeah, if you guys didn't feel, drop a like. Subscribe if you guys are new. And peace out.